history has this funny way of moving in circles, doesn't it?
It really
You
does.
look at Rome, the Ottomans, even the British Empire, and you see the same pattern. Rise, peak, and then
Inevitable fall. Yeah.
it makes you wonder if we're just, stuck on a loop. Today, we're unpacking a text that tackles that very anxiety head on.
But from a pretty unique angle.
Exactly. We are diving into the book titled The Sunk of the Last Empire. Throughout the history of humanity, all empires of the world have fallen. It is the United States of North America next.
It is certainly a title that demands your attention.
Absolutely. And it's written by Dr. Cesar Augusto Gonzalez Aguirre, PhD. Now, usually with a title like that, I'm expecting like charts, GDP analysis, military strategy.
Right. A standard political science text.
But this is different, isn't it?
Oh, very different. Dr. Aguirre isn't doing that. He actually describes this manuscript as a love song to civilization.
A love song.
And a requiem for redemption. So right off the bat, you're in a space that's blending political critique with this very deep spiritual framework.
That's what jumped out at me. He uses biblical narratives to diagnose the modern state of the U.S. He talks about the Beatitudes and the Ten Commandments.
But he reframes them, right?
He does. He calls them invitations to love and pillars of protection. It's like he's saying these aren't just rules for you and me, but structural necessities for a whole country to survive.
Exactly. The core argument is that when a society abandons these ancient songs of humility and mercy, the foundation just cracks.
He even brings up Sodom and Gomorrah.
He does. He calls them ballads of warning. A warning against what happens when moral abandonment really sets in.
Okay, so let's look at that diagnosis. If the foundation is cracking, what does that look like today? He gets pretty specific about the timeline.
He does. He pinpoints a rapid erosion of freedoms, specifically since January 2021.
And he uses this image of the U.S. as a once magnificent empire that's now flickering, like a candle in the wind.
Yeah, and to back that up, he points to what he calls the tragic figure of the national debt. We're talking $34 trillion.
Which is just a number that's hard to even comprehend.
And in the book, it's not just a stat. He treats it as this perilous weight that threatens the unity of the entire society.
And he extends that poetic tragedy to social issues, too, like immigration. I was really struck by his comparison there.
You mean between Ellis Island and today?
Right. He contrasts that golden age of Ellis Island with what we're seeing now.
And he calls modern migration stories bittersweet sonnets. He's, acknowledging that human quest for refuge, but he argues current policies have created something turbulent, not welcoming.
He also touches on the woke movement, which is obviously a hot-button issue.
But again, the language is so specific, he calls it a tempest of passion.
A tempest of passion.
It's a key phrase. He argues that this tempest divides souls. So where some see justice, others just see storm clouds. He links this directly to a rise in racism and anti-Semitism.
And I'm guessing the media isn't helping much, in his view.
Not at all. He calls the mainstream media a double-edged sword. The argument is that it has this huge power to seduce and deceive, shaping what we want so deeply that we might lose our freedom of thought without even realizing it.
Wow. It all feels very high stakes. And that leads to the broader context of the book, which is really about eschatology, isn't it? The end times.
That's the backdrop for everything. He warns against impersonal technology and talks about inevitable disasters, both natural and man-made.
So it sounds pretty bleak, but he doesn't just leave us there, does he? There is a solution proposed.
There is. It's a call for noble leadership. He's talking about accountability, transparency, and a return to compassion. Essentially, to survive the storms to come, society needs a rebirth.
A rebirth that combines tradition with innovation.
Precisely. Looking back to those ancient songs to find a way forward.
It really leaves you with a provocative thought. If society is that fragile, that candle in the wind is the solution found in, a new policy paper, or is it, as the author suggests, something deeper, a matter of the human heart?
It definitely forces you to question where your hope lies, for sure.
Well, if you want to explore these ballads of warning yourself, the book is The Sunk of the Last Empire. Throughout the history of humanity, all empires of the world have fallen. It is the United States of North America next, by Dr. Cesar Augusto Gonzalez Aguirre, PhD. Available now on Amazon.